spectacular collision occur between Conti and Tali, the small gap in the Armco, resulting in a massive crash, destroying his car and creating the worst pile-up in World Championship history. 8 cars were involved in the accident, with 4 drivers retiring. Dominguez, Euler, Rule and Saxon were all out of the...
Van Dorn braked too late and lost his front wing, and Keithley made heavy contact with Room but suffered surprisingly little damage. It didn't take long for the Monte Carlo barriers to begin claiming their victims. Philip Puška was the first driver to go, spinning through the last corner and stalling his engine. And further behind, teammate Chatty Bantelis also span his car at Portier, also stalling his engine. Stoffel Van Dorn was likewise making a strong recovery, but the Belgian driver clipped the Armco into the Novelle chicane, ending his race. Ironically, a few laps later, Kostadinov himself also made a mistake into Anthony Nogues, clipping the inside, leaving Room nowhere to go. Unfortunately, Parisas had no such luck, and his race ended not long after, with the Greek having a horrendous accident into the swimming pool section, clipping the inside wall, completely destroying his go-speed car. In the second stint, the driver count continued to fall. Blair Disley had a spectacular crash into seeking a way around Peter Varga. The GT Amiga driver used the draft down the start-finish straight and pulled off an aggressive overtake. It was caught out by the slow-moving RS Evo car on its return to the pits, and he locked up, losing his position to Kostadinov. This went on, the attrition rate only increased, with 5 drivers coming unstuck in just as many laps. Manazakis dropped his go-speed car through turn 1, and after a very strong run, Marcel van der Linden lost control through Anthony Nogues. Meanwhile, an unfortunate chain of events ended the race for 3 different drivers, starting with Fredrik Nilsson in third, who lost control out of the swimming pool section, spinning his car and stalling his engine. Distracted by the accident, Giuseppe Marconi then lost control going into La Rascasse, followed by Fabrizio Gobi, who was caught completely by surprise by Marconi's stricken car. Long list of DNFs, crashing his car just before the pit lane. Wise Rasmus Tali's solid drive almost came to an end when the Estonian lost control into the final turn. Our driver's brakes failed and the Frenchman was sent sliding hopelessly into the tyre barriers at Mirabeau. Further behind, John-Eric Saxon's brakes also called it quits, ending the Finns' race with only a few laps left to go. With only 7 out of 23 starters reaching the checkered flag,
Nilsson and Schutte squeezed Gosby, sending Schutte's Brem GP into the air and into DeWitt, with Morand also, apart from Giuseppe Marconi, as contact with Chris de Jong caused a spin and forced him to stall his car. Chicane on lap 31. Gosby was forced to run across the chicane, helping Puška maintain the place. Gosby's teammate Jack Keithley would then end his race prematurely after clipping the inside barrier. At the same time, the chicane once again provided action as the fight for ninth hotted up. Blair Disley had a shaky exit, allowing Yannick Lapchan up the inside of Zuhait's Cabo at Tabac. The pair went side by side on the exit, but Lapchan nudged the side of the Jasco PSR and